All right, so at this point, you should be done with part one. So that means that you're writing down the words and phrases in part one of the worksheet by looking at the main ideas, the paragraphs in each article, and then the close reading questions. So you have the various close reading questions. What I've done is I've gone ahead and put the main ideas that are from March 24th and went in the email that went out on March 27th. So you have those main ideas, you have the various articles. So I've gone ahead and just done the annotating that is described in this slide right here. And what I've done is I've taken those keywords and phrases and I've put them in a table um, on in this document. And so we've got this part right here. So part one in the columns below, make notes about some of the keywords, phrases, and articles, so you can easily compare the ideas from the articles and find similarities. Um, so we've done that, and now we're going on to part two. So what we've done is summarize the ideas in a way that are easy to compare. Now we're going to compare them. And what that looks like is that we're going to follow these directions. We're going to use highlighting or other annotation techniques to group together similar ideas from above. So this might take some revision. We might have to go back and look at the articles a little bit to kind of see what we remembered. So just kind of pass through. I'm going to look, I'm not going to do a complete analysis of this, but, just kind of pick up some ideas. So we've got this idea of education. Um, we've got this idea of, from Locke, where, the author talked about education and how she used it in her life to become better. They talk about education in the Economist article. And I think that, we've got some, uh, I think that, one of the things that they talk about, like spending money on, is education. So in the article from Iglesias, so let's see if we can find that. So um, I think we talk about, I'm just kind of scanning through it really quickly, see what they talk about. So they do talk about, schools, um, things like that. So early childhood education. So I think that's something that, we can put it in there and uh, come back to it as it becomes important, or as we think about a little bit more. So you can see this is idea that comes up in all three articles. That's great. That's an idea we can use. um, let's see if there's other things that come up. So we've got family. Let's look. So family comes up in the article about Locke because she talks about her family a lot. So she talks about growing up with her family, things like that. Um, and then I think, let's see, we talk about family security in the Iglesias article. So, that not totally clear if that is going to work, but like for now, I think that's, a good place to start. And then what comes up in the Economist article is definitely like, this idea of family behavior. So they talk about it in this article. So we've got that as kind of a place to start. So there's going to be other ways that, or other things that come up as trends. So we've got this idea of social mobility, like this American dream. I'm going to go ahead and highlight that. Um, Maybe even like less social mobility. And, we can revise our categories. We can say what is going to like go together, what's not going to go together. Um, and we can look at the idea of, we've got this less social mobility. Actually, these are kind of like opposites. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the highlighting from that. Um, so social mobility is more possible. That is kind of the same thing, or that's like aligns with the American dream. So I'm going to highlight that. Um, I'm looking at some of the other things that come up. So better life than parents. So that's the idea of like, the American dream, things are going to get better. Um, let's see. So those are like, I think there's other things that are going to be similar, but this is, I think, a good start. And that's going to be part two, where what you're going to do is you're going to find the ideas that are the same across the articles. And for something like this idea of like the American dream and things becoming better, what even if that only shows up in two articles, I think there's probably ways that it comes up in the Iglesias article, but we'll just kind of won't worry about that for now. But if it only comes up in two articles, that's okay. What we need with the synthesis is that we need it to be mentioned in at least two articles. If it's a topic that only comes up in one article, then don't use it, because then that's not a synthesis. The synthesis is the idea that multiple ideas from multiple sources come together in one body paragraph. So make sure that you've got that. So go ahead, highlight your different categories, kind of think about what the similarities across the articles are, because that's what you're trying to do. You've already, so again, we've done our first step. We've looked at the articles and kind of broken them up. We've summarized the articles in ways that are easy to compare by kind of breaking them up. We've compared them and using highlighting, finding the parts that are similar. And then now we're going to sort those parts in a way that will be easy to help you, they'll um, more easily help you write your essay. So we'll get back to that in the next video.